move up to the 335-pound bar. As Wes Pyatt has now stepped onto the ladder. He successfully clean and jerk 285 pounds. Marcus Philly exiting the field after missing his lift at 295 pounds. Make that 315 pounds for Marcus Philly, and that's where Mikko Arlpa steps up. Asia Barto, 335.
See him adjusting his hands there to get that grip on that bar. Solid.
No problem for Asia Barto. He's your new leader. And on the left, Mikko Arlpa at 315 pounds. Matt Chan behind Barto at 325. Chan gets out of the hole. Now can he jerk the weight?
That right there was a solid jerk. You saw how wide he went with his feet, but he dropped into a fully straight locked arm position and was able to be stable underneath the weight and allow him to get that weight. That was beautiful. Beautiful jerk.
Arlpa at 315 failed on the jerk, but he did get the clean, so he will make another run at this weight.
Again, these guys aren't getting a whole lot of time. If you miss it, all we've really been able to see is someone just get the clean after that. They barely get into that. So time goes quickly for these guys.
Arlpa just nothing left in the tank to go after that weight. So he'll have a score of 315.1. Going to make another attempt, though. He already has a successful clean here. Gets under that, and now Arlpa's going to stand it up.
Just a little bit too slow.
Yeah. So 315.1 from Mikko Arlpa. But let's go back and take a look at Matt Chan.
Solid clean off the ground. Look at that, driving his hips up underneath. Again, adjusting his grip so he can get a nice drive on the bar. Solid lockout with his arms. That was pretty. A pretty textbook lift right there.
Asia Barto, meanwhile, 345 pounds for Barto.
So that right there is 5 pounds over his listed clean and jerk PR. So, and he just looks so solid with that. The thing with Asia, a lot of people think that because you're tall and long, you're not going to be able to move a whole lot of weight. That it takes too hard, you got to move it too long. But he defies all those rumors. He's so efficient and uses that momentum to get underneath that weight, going up and getting under it.
Brian Miller at 315 couldn't get it overhead, but he does complete the clean. So Miller will get 315.1, and now it's Matt Chan at 335. And Chan cannot get out of the hole on that one, but he will get a chance to make another attempt. Behind him is Graham Holmberg at 325 pounds. Holmberg just can't quite get underneath it. Now Chan another attempt at 335. That's just not going to happen for Matt Chan. So Chan leaving the ladder after successfully clean and jerking 325 pounds, but Asia Barto just throwing weight around here.
So solid. You know, he hits that bar up high on his thighs. And again, I think what's working best for him is he doesn't wait. Gets it up, stabilize, go. There's no hesitation at all.
355 pounds for Asia Barto. On the right, on the left at 315 is Tyson Takasaki.
Strong front squat out of the hole for Tyson.
Good lift.
And an easy snap, an easy jerk.
And Asia Barto at 355. Can't quite get under it, but Asia Barto made that clean look pretty easy.
Yeah, you know, he's used to being under a lot of weight. You know, he does a lot of work with Olympic lifting with his clean and jerk, with his snatch. That front squat was easy, but you could tell the second he went a little bit loose up top. That breath, tried to go too soon, really needed another breath of air. Tried to take a big breath and he just didn't have it. Just kind of collapsed in that midline.
Barto in time for another attempt here. He already has a successful clean, so right now his score would be 355.1, and he would be your leader. Asia Barto can't stand that one up. So Asia Barto leaving the floor after successfully cleaning 355 pounds, but just couldn't put it overhead. So Barto now in the lead. Here's his first attempt.
So easy on that front squat. That was impressive. See, I think he needed to sit there for just a second. He needed to wait just a little bit longer, and then he would have been a little bit more solid. That would have helped up with the split. It just would have been a better lift. But that was a very, very impressive showing so far.
Asia Bartow signing a scorecard, and now it's Dan Bailey moving up to 335 pounds on the left. Tyson Takasaki at 325 pounds. Tyson Takasaki, successful lift for him, and Bailey can't get underneath 335. Wes Pyatt is behind Dan Bailey at 325. Behind Pyatt is Kenneth Leverage. At 305, that's Roy Gamboa.
Dan's trying to get the crowd fired up right now. Again, Dan pulled that real big clean last year. He needs to get this weight up overhead.
Bailey can't get underneath it. Right behind Bailey, Wes Pyatt can't get underneath 325. Behind Pyatt, Kenneth Leverage now has 315 racked.
Wes is right up at his PR right there at 325. He's cleaned successfully 325, and he has jerked 325. He's never actually had a full clean and jerk at 325. So the fact that he's there after all this volume, that's impressive for Wes.
Kenneth Leverage is going to go again after 315. Bailey at 335 just can't get it. Leverage had 315 rack, but didn't go for the jerk. Leverage can't quite get it overhead, but he will get partial credit. 315.1 for Kenneth Leverage. Wes Pyatt is also out, as is Dan Bailey. So that round knocking off 3 men from that middle, that third ladder. And now Tyson Takasaki, 335 pounds.
Nice drive of his hips right there. He never lost midline. His elbows stayed up nice and hard, keeping that bar right up against his throat.
Takasaki nicely underneath it, but just
give it to him?
stabilized. Kyle Kasperbauer now is at the 315-pound bar behind Kasperbauer. Neil Maddox at 305 basically pressed that overhead.
Now I think you need to practice that. Just a little bit drilled afterwards, drilled after the case, after the fact.
Kasperbauer at 315.
Almost a power clean on that. He decided just to dip down just a little bit to come out of the bottom. Almost didn't look like he even needed to do that.
Takasaki can't hit 335, but Kasperbauer a successful lift at 315 pounds. But Tyson Takasaki will leave the floor after successfully lifting 325 pounds. More time, though, for Tyson Takasaki, but doesn't look like he's going to make another go at it unless he's just going to rest. And time has been called, so Tyson Takasaki is done inside the soccer stadium here at the StubHub Center for the first time since we moved to this facility. And look at the crowd on hand. Lucas Parker, one of 2 men who's going to start at 315 pounds.
You know what? It's risky. It's risky. He's only listed a 333 clean and jerk best, so he needs to get this to even stay in the competition for the rest of the weekend.
315 for Lucas Parker is no problem.
Solid right there. That was a great lift.
The crowd appreciating that effort from Lucas Parker. If he doesn't make that lift, he is out. Roy Gamboa on the left at 325. And that's a good lift for Roy Gamboa, who now has 2 platforms left before he clears his ladder.
But this is really showing, I think, that it's great for a lot of CrossFitters when they go to their boxes, you know, around the world. A lot of people try to do the split, and they kind of do this sort of half split. They don't really do it. He needs everyone else is, all these guys are splitting and meaning split. It's a you're either going to do it or you're not. You can see all these athletes are doing that, and that's what's helping them get that lift.
Lucas Parker stepped on the ladder at 315, one of 2 men to start at that weight. Big risk for him, but he made it pay off. Chad McKay, meanwhile, at 285 pounds, the big Australian gets that overhead. Here's Lucas Parker at 315. Check out the crowd's reaction.
Look at that. Perfect form out of the hole. Back stayed nice and straight. Head through the hole. That's what a lot of athletes will hear the coaches say. That gets their shoulders underneath that bar to support that weight.
325 now for Lucas Parker. On the left, Neil Maddox, also at 325 pounds. Behind Lucas Parker is Matt Hathcock, another athlete opening at 315. Crucial lift for him. Parker. Neil Maddox can't get under it, but he doesn't have to re-clean it. He does not have to re-clean it. He's making another attempt, and Neil Maddox cannot successfully get 325 pounds overhead.
And what that was a squat jerk. He's trying to get underneath it. That way, instead of splitting his legs, you actually saw him. There's only one real big lifter that we really see do that is Cedric Harris. And when he splits, he actually goes down into a full squat, clean. So he's all the way down. Neil couldn't do that. I think if he was to split, he's fast enough, he's strong enough, and that's a more efficient movement by splitting to get underneath for that jerk.
Maddox is going to make one more run at this. 325 pounds for Neil Maddox. Maddox
just not fast enough.
Get that overhead.
He needs to have speed on that jerk.
Here's a look at his first attempt here where he actually made 2 attempts at the jerk.
So the dip drive, it's about getting underneath it and snapping that bar off your shoulders. He's just not going down fast enough and deep enough to catch that bar with locked arms.
Now Lucas Parker at 335 pounds. On the left is Z.A. Anderson at 325 and Matt Hathcock at 325 as well behind Parker. Parker.
And he even caught that one.
Hancock and Z.A. Anderson struggling at 325.
That was actually falling backwards as he went underneath it. He came so far with his head underneath that actually the bar was going to go behind him. He was able to pull it back. That's great. Being that heavy, you don't have those sort of abilities.